today we're gonna learn a little bit about Japanese housing. This type of house, probably you can tell this is really old and cheap. This housing is called apato. Apato. The name is of course from the word apartment in English. The definition of apato is udon or lightweight steel construction complex housing with 2 or 3 floors at most. In Japan, other than apato, there's some types of housing. Mansion. Mansion. Mansion in English means a huge luxury house, but in Japanese, it's just complex housing built with concrete or steel and have more than 3 floors. Basically, the building is larger and have more sturdy structures than apato. There's nothing special or fancy like mansion in English. I think mansion in Japanese is close to apartment in English. Ordinary people like me can live. Kodate. Kodate means an independent house. When we count houses, there are 2 units, ken and ko. Ken is the unit for housing, and ko is actually for households, but in many cases, one household living in one house. So this ko is also used to count houses. I don't want to make you confused, but there is another unit to count household, which is setai. Setai. Setai itself means household, and people count like 1世帯、2世帯、3世帯. Just let you know, for apartment or mansion like complex housing, we use to. To. Not only housing, we use this unit to count bigger, longer, taller buildings. For example, in the same site, if there are many buildings under the same name of school or hospital, we count like 1棟、2棟、3棟。このマンションは2棟あり、それぞれ25個部屋があります。このマンション This mansion, it means apartment in English. 2棟 2 buildings あり The original form ある exist or have それぞれ each 25個25 houses 部屋 means room, but here more like house. This apartment has 2 buildings, and each building has 25 houses. このマンションは2棟あり、それぞれ25個部屋があります。停電で100軒、110世帯に影響が出た。停電 blackout 100軒、100 houses 110世帯110 households 影響 impact 出た the original form 出る in this case emerge 影響が出る have an impact blackout affected 100 houses and 110 families 停電で100軒110世帯に影響が出た This part means 100 houses If people say like this, we think in this area no mansion or no apartments are included. If house and apartment are mixed, probably better to use ko. The number of ken and ko doesn't match with the number of setai, because multiple households could live in the same house. Since ken means building, you cannot use it to count houses in complete building. Ko can be used for building and house in the apartment both. Anyway, kodate This means actually 一戸建て 一戸建て ikko means one household and 建て This is nominalized verb and the original form is 建てる建てる means built and nominalized 建て I won't explain here but ikko and 建て pronunciation changed this part 建て建て一戸建て一戸建て So it means like house for one household and delete this part 戸建て independent house This his house is apato Seems he has a kitchen and bedroom in his house
川戸さんいますか
雲隠れくん髪取ってくんない
トイレットペーパーってどこにあるんでしたっけ？
便所の中にあんに決まってんだろ。
Seems toilet and the phone line are sharing. I bet they don't have a shower room or bathroom, so they have to go to public bath, which is sento. This house is not common style anymore, but still exists, although I don't think this style is built as new anymore though. Anyway, here are the words for housing. House, 家 家 Window, 窓 窓 Door, 戸 戸 or 扉 扉 Although we commonly use English word door, door, garden, 庭 庭 balcony, ベランダ ベランダ garage, 物置 物置 We also say ガレージガレージ parking spot, 駐車場駐車場 room, 部屋部屋 bedroom, 寝室寝室 guest room, 客間客間 living room, 居間居間 but we also say リビングリビング kitchen 台所台所 We also use English kitchen kitchen toilet トイレトイレ bathroom or shower room 風呂風呂 or 風呂場風呂場 or 浴室浴室 lavatory 洗面所洗面所 closet 収納収納 but we also say クローゼットクローゼット stair 階段階段 roof 屋根屋根 ceiling 天井天井 entrance 玄関玄関 As you know, Japanese people take off the shoes before we go into the room, so the house layout 玄関 and 部屋 is clearly separated. Like this, we have a space to take off the shoes. One thing that I surprised when I visited my friend's house in the United States is, probably not all, but their front door is directly linked to the living room. But in Japan, except the studio or one room, I think many houses' front door is linked to the aisle, and you have door to the living room or bedroom from there. By the way, as you see in this scene, there's some stuff that you see only in Japan. This part is called tatami, tatami, which is the floor material made of straws and rushes. Actually, you cannot use tatami forever. Almost every 3 years, better to flip upside down, and probably after 10 or 15 years, need to change to the new ones. By the way, he lifted up and hid himself in the space under there, but in regular houses, there is no space like that. You will just find a wood board. Just so you know, tatami gets easily damaged, so of course you cannot step on with the shoes or even slippers. Also, the room with this kind of floor, residents don't set heavy furniture like shelf or dresser. And if you have a chance to visit this kind of house as a traveler, probably you will find the other space to keep your suitcase, so better not to roll your suitcase on there. By the way, this part of tatami, which is called tatami beri, this part you cannot step on. When you walk around the room, you have to avoid this line. I think normal house don't have any more, but the royal house mark used to be embroidered on this part. Therefore, stepping on it is considered as super rude. Even some Japanese people don't know about this fact. But if you remember not step on it, this small consideration will give the good impression about you. By the way, tatami is used to show the room size. One tatami size is around 1.62 square meters. I said around because depending on the area, like east or west, tatami size is different. But I think you can just remember 1.62 square meters. Anyway, if you see the floor plan like this, we call this madori. Madori. See here, it says 6畳. 6畳. Sometimes you might see this kanji instead. So 1.6 multiple 6, this room size is around 9.72 square meter. Anyway, here you also see this type of closet we called oshiire. Oshiire, where this creature is using as his bed. As I said, on tatami, we don't set the heavy furniture like bed. Normally people set the futon, blanket or foldable mattress keeping here daytime, and nighttime before we sleep, drag them out from here and spread on the floor and sleep. And sliding door for oshiire, this is made of wood frame and Japanese paper we called fusuma. Fusuma. And for window version, we call shoji. Shoji. This paper is super thin, like calligraphy paper. If you have kids or pets in your house, probably the perfect state won't last 1 month. Check YouTube with neko, cat, and fusuma. You can find the disasters. In old days, maybe shoji was used as a window, but now, security-wise, it's not smart to use like that. So usually people use regular glass window outside and have shoji inside as a roll of cotton. The cost to rent a house in Japan is not cheap. Not only deposit, you have to pay more stuff. Before you move in, probably you have to pay these. Shikikin. Shikikin. This means deposit. Reikin. Reikin. This is the reward to the owner. For shikikin and reikin, probably you have to pay 1 or 2 months rent fee in total. This is average, but it could be more depending on the area. Reikin is the thank you money to the owner, so you won't get it back when you leave. And deposit, also in many cases, you won't get back all even you keep the room clean. Probably they will deduct like cleaning fee or fixing fee. Even Japanese have to be fight back to get the money. So for foreigners, probably it will be a real hard thing. Some source says this is the rate how much people get back the deposit. See, only 12.2% of people can get all the money back, and 31% of people cannot even get any back. I know this sounds crazy, but this is Japan's renting system. Some people fight back, but will take time, and most of the people just give it up and let it go. Also, there are some houses don't need shikikin or reikin when you move in. We say shikikin, reikin, zero. No need to pay deposit or reward. But there's nothing more expensive than something free. Even though you don't have to pay anything before you move in, but I heard they have to pay a lot when they leave. Anyway, to get back the deposit as much as possible, better take pictures of your house, as many as possible as a proof, before you carry in your stuff. Other than shikikin and reikin, probably you have to pay 仲介手数料. 仲介手数料, which is agency fee. If you could find a place without agency, of course you don't have to pay this. I think in Japan, it's not mainstream the individual owner renting out the place. Most likely people will find the place through the agency. So most of the time you have to pay this 仲介手数料. And also sometimes you have to pay the rent fee for the next month. We call this 前家賃. 前家賃. Also you have to pay the insurance for fire. I'm not sure it's mandatory, but this insurance is actually tricky. This insurance won't cover aging degradation and natural disasters. For example, if you have the earthquake and the fire starts from your kitchen and burn down not only your house but also the neighbor's house, it won't cover it, so you are doomed. If you are worrying, you should add the insurance for the natural disaster. If you think it's not necessary, it's up to you. But Japan has a lot of natural disasters like typhoon, earthquake. Who knows it will happen to you? Okay, there is one more thing you need to have a contract to rent a house. It's not money, but as a foreigner, you might need to pay to find it, which is a guarantor. 保証人. 保証人. Many people ask for their family or relatives. Many cases, friends are not accepted. If you have no one who can sign for you, there is a company providing a guarantor, or owner might ask to raise the rent fee or deposit. By the way, being guarantor is really dangerous. If you become someone's guarantor, as a law, you have to bear the same responsibility as the signer. If the signer disappears without telling anything and leave the house mess, you'll be the one who pay all the damages. You cannot make the excuse like, I just signed because he or she asked me, or I have nothing to do. Those excuses won't work. Once you sign, that means you accept the burden. By the way, since I was a kid, my parents always told me not to sign as a guarantor in whatever cases. Not only the house renting, when someone lend the money, that person need a guarantor. For this kind of guarantor, even friends can be. About this, there are many famous stories, like desperate your friends asking you to sign as a guarantor and then you felt sorry so you sign, but once you sign, the friend just grab the money and get the hell out of there, and then you become the one who return all the money with high interest. So whatever it is, if friends ask you to sign somewhere, just ignore the person and cut the person out of your life. Real friends never ask you to do that. I'm not sure foreigners can be a guarantor like that, but being cautious is always a good thing. These requirements are just example. The situation might change, depends on you are Japanese or not. Anyway, I hope you won't have any trouble when you find a house in Japan. By the way, you might find it irregular, but rent houses in Japan, usually all the wall and the floors are already finished, and you cannot change or decorate as you like. Painting the wall is of course no-no, and most of them are unfurnished. You might get AC or stove in the kitchen, but other than that, you have to get all by yourself. Probably hard to find a furnished house. And when you leave the house, you have to all your stuff clear. Move your furniture to your new place or throw away. If you can sell all before you leave, that will be no problem. But just let you know, if you decide to throw them away, don't forget to contact your local municipality to pay. Big one, you might have to pay 5,000 yen per piece. So even it's free, it's better to find someone who can come to pick it up. Okay, that's it for today. If you like my video, please hit like and the subscribe button. And if you have any requests for the anime series or character analyzation, please let me know in the comment. Thanks for your support. See you in the next one.